Dear students, greetings from Dr. T. Sendil Murugan, Associate Professor and Head, Department of Information Technology, Kakatiya Institute of Technology and Science, Warangal. In this video lecture, we are going to discuss about structure within the structure. So normally, if any loop within the loop, we can say nested loops, no? Same like that. We can say structure within the structure is considered as a nested structure. Nested structure or structure within the structure we are going to discuss in this video lecture. Okay. So in this video lecture week 11, lecture 3, classroom discussion topic 33. So in this video lecture, we are going to discuss about structure within the structures and unions. Okay, so this concept we are going to discuss in this video lecture. So this is the lecture outcomes. After completion of this lecture, student will be able to use the nested structure concept in C program development, as well as the student able to compare the structures and union in C programming. So this is a summary for previous lecture. In the previous lecture, we are discussed about array of structure. So array of structure is used for creating more variables in structure. According to the variable creation only, we can access the members of the structure. So there is we can use struct keyword, struct, then structure name. For example, book means book is the structure name, tag name, then array of structure, number of books. Okay, so example, books, 100 books. You can create 100 variables. Books 1 dot author, books 1 dot price, books 1 dot like that, 100 author we can take. So this author starting from book of 0 to book of 99. So because array indexing starting from 0, so it will start from 0 to 99 book details we can give. So array within the structure. Okay, so array within the structure means, if example, the structure is there, structure declaration is there, so book is there. Okay, so instead of that, inside, so in books, inside that CSE books, if it is there. So example, how many copies of the book is there. Okay, so book name. So example, character, book name is there. So this book name, how many copies are there? Okay, so example 30 characters it will take. So in case I want how many copy of the book is available. So copies. So how many copies? Each copies, who is the author, who is the how many pages are there, what is the price, like that you can give. Example 4. So this is array within the structure. Okay, so you can create like this also. And example programs we are discussed for those lectures. Now we will comes to the current video lecture. Structure within the structure is considered the nesting of structures. Okay, so you just remember it, nesting structure, nesting of subjects. So it is permittable in C languages. How we can write it? Okay, so see here in this example, structure, salary is there. Salary is the structure name or tag name. In this structure, salary for the person name, department, basic pay, DA, HRA, city allowance. It is there. So for each employee, it is separate. Okay. So employee dot name, employee dot department, employee dot basic pay, employee dot dearness allowance, employee dot HRA, employee dot city allowance. Like that, we can access the structure members. So what we have to do, instead of writing like that, the allowances means that is dearness, house rent allowance, in city allowance. So these are given in the separate structure. So if you are given like this structure within the structure, it is considered as a nesting structures. Okay, so in this structure there is no name, we are not giving any tag name. Okay, so inner structure there is no tag name, outer structure there is a tag name. Okay, so how we can access this structure? For example, for this structure, these two are the elements. are members. Okay. Elements are members. For accessing these two, directly we can access employee.name, employee.department. But how we can access these allowances? So for that, already it is created one variable for this structure. So how we can write it? Employee dot allowance dot dearness. So two dot we are using it to access the inner members. Okay, so this is the method we have to access the structure variable. The structure within the structure is considered the nested structures. Okay, so we are using two dots for accessing the members of the inner structure. The outer structure directly you can access. Okay, so following is invalid. How it is invalid? Employee dot allowance. Okay, employee dot allowance, how it is invalid? Employee dot allowance, after that any one of the name should be there. Employee dot allowance also wrong. Okay, so employee dot house rent. So employee is variable for this outer structure, but house rent is variable of inner structure. So this variable cannot access the members directly. So we must be use the two dot. Okay, that you have to remember it. Okay, so structure of array also you can use here. Already what we discussed, the same thing. For 100 people, so you can use for each person employee one dot allowance dot dearness. You can access employee one dot arrears dot dearness. Okay, so that you can calculate. Here two variables declared, here 100 variables declared. These 100 variables can have for this structure. Okay, so here these two for this structure. So inner structure no need of tag name, outer structure must be tag name should be there. Okay, so this is the method to represent the two structure within the structure. So another way structure within the structure is the variable may be created in the another structure. Then automatically it will call that structure as the inner structure. Okay. So in this example, you see here first structure pay. So what are the pay is there? Fairness allowance, house rent allowance, city allowance. We are written the separate. For that we are given the name for structure. Okay. In the previous example there is no name. So here that is the definition itself. Structure will be there. This is considered the outer structure. So inside this space it is declared. That's why that method we are used. Here separately we are declared, but we are creating the member for the this structure. Structure name, tag name, then member name. So variable name. So with this variable, how we can access? If we are using it, struct salary employee, 100 employees it is created. How we can access it? So this is another way to represent it. Okay, how we can access directly? The same method we can access. Okay, so employee 0 dot allowance, employee 0 dot. So for the same employee we have created. Okay, so that employee name should be there, employee department will be there. So you can call that employee 0 dot what is the this structure keyword, then structure name, the variable name dot member name we can call. So employee 0 dot name, employee 0 dot department, it will work. So in case employee allowance, you want to access this pay, means how to access? Employee 0 dot allowance dot dearness, same method you can use. Okay, 2 dot will come. Clear? So now how to access the nested structures using double dot, already we discussed. So anyway, if you see this question, write the answer for this. I will give 10 seconds. If you know the correct answer, then you can proceed further. Otherwise, you will go back and watch the video. Then you can answer for this question. Okay. So 10 seconds is going to be over. I hope you return the answer. You check with the answer. If the answer is correct, then you will proceed further. Otherwise, you will go back and visit the video again. Then you will answer it. Using two dot operator, inner structure, outer structure dot, inner structure dot, member name. Like that you can access it. Okay. So now we are going to discuss about union. Okay. So what is union? It's a similar like structure, but the keyword we are using as union. What's the main difference between the union and structure? Structure is allocating memory for all the variables. Like we know that how many variables we are created, the variable number of variables into summation of all the data variables declared inside the structures, size of the those variables. But union size is it will allocate only highest size of the variable which is declared inside the union. So example, if int, float, double is there means the double memory size it will take, that size only will be allocated for all three. So the only the restriction is at a time you can use only one variable. That is the main disadvantage of union. Okay, but memory wise it is very less. So the same structure you can use, instead of struct you can use union keyword, then tag name, then variable declarations, int, float character is there. Same like that we can create the member also to access the union. Okay. So there is union contain three members of each different data type. Okay, so we can use only one of them at a time. So in the previous examples, three variables are there, but whenever we want to access it, we can access only one at a time. That is the disadvantage of it. But how the memory will be created? For C, it is taking only 1 byte. Okay. So for integer, it is taking 2 bytes. For float, it is taken 4 bytes. So totally, the 4 byte of memory will be allocated for the entire program. Okay. So that is the advantage. But the accessing member is at a time only one variable we can access. That is the main disadvantage of union. How we can assign the values? Same method what we are used to for structure. Okay, so that variable name dot member name equal to directly you can assign the values. Okay, so this is integer value, this is float value. So same method you can print that value also. Okay, so what happened here? Code dot m 379 is there, code dot x 7859 is there. So recently you are used x member, but you are printing m member, so it will show the error. Why? Because currently the values are stored is code.x only. If you are printing code.x, this value will be printed. Okay. So if you are printing already m is over, that memory changed to x float values. Okay. So this will show the error. That's the main disadvantage of union functions. So these are the theory part. You just read what is the difference between structure and union. You have many resources, self-learning, you can do it. Okay. So union may be initialized when the variable is declared, but unlike structures, it can be initialized only with a value of same type as the first union member. Okay. So not like that for all the values you are unable to store. Okay. So but if you are declared union item ABC equal to 100, it is valid because first time it will store that value. But the declaration union item ABC equal to this value if you are given, what happened? This is integer value, this is a float value. Integer value it will take first value, but if you are given the second value it is not take, it is invalid. Okay, because the type of the first member is integer. Okay, so now this is the reflections part 2. You try to answer for this question. I will give the 10 seconds time. What is union? How to declare the union? How to access the union? What is the difference between structure and union? So how memory will be allocated for union? So you can write the answer. I will give 10 seconds time. If you written the correct answer, very good. Otherwise, you will go back and watch the video from reflections part 1. Then you can understand what is union, how it is used. Okay. So now The 10 seconds time is over. Now I will show the answer. Check your answer. Which size is the maximum in declared members of the union? Okay. So which size of the variable is more inside the union members? It will take as a memory. Okay. So lecture level problems, students, you are able to solve these problems. Develop a C program to print department-wise library books using nested structures. CSE, that separate books. IT, separate books. Triple E, separate books. Like that, how many departments are there? How many books are there? Accordingly, you have to create nested structures. Okay. And another one is a program that demonstrates how to use the union to store multiple data types in a single variable. Okay, so union concept also we discussed. Same method you can write one program and check it how it is working. So now we have to revisit the course lecture outcome. Having completed the discussion on nested structure and union in C, now students should be able to use the nested structure concept in C program to develop the C programs, as well as the students are able to compare the features of the structures and the union in C language. Okay. So thank you very much for watching this video. Even if you have doubt, you can refer the textbook Programming in ANSYS, which is authored by Dr. E. Balagurusamy under chapter 10 Structures and Union. Okay, even further doubt, you can refer the weekly tutorial sheet. Even if you have doubt, you come with the doubt, we will discuss in our classroom. Okay, so thank you very much for listening my video with passion. Thank you all.